love commercialization, huge commercialization, because big networks were involved in the whole process, up to a point where I saw Jackie part of the commercialization, where it's Somizi and Mohale, End of the Road. It's a documentary now. They're closing the chapter. I guess that was the objective of the documentary. I just want to know, why did you say yes to that gig? Because I know you're a person who stands for people who are abuse victims, and things where the power dynamics are wrong. You don't like that at all.
Yeah.
Why would you say yes to a gig like that?
There are aspects of my life that I will never reveal, that are between myself, my family.
On the third day.
That
one, yeah.
Like Christ himself.
What was that about?
I don't even know.
You went to a fancy restaurant in a beautiful place in South Africa, and he left you with
love them.
Foods, babe.
He's not circumcised.
I was told. I mean, not just from Mabafundis and all of that. I mean, I heard the audible voice of God.
It wasn't a decision.
It wasn't a decision.
MTOL is a payment service provider that assists thousands of merchants globally. They accept online payments and they are expanding tremendously. Every company has a specific set of requirements for their workers, but MTOL has just one very important requirement, and that is to have capital in order to have order credits. So what are order credits, you may ask? Order credits are like a key to the process in an order transaction on MTOL. So without order credits, you can't actually proceed to collect a transaction. The bigger the amount of order credits you have, the bigger income you can get. So the capital that you put in MTOL will be used using order credits. And in order to have these order credits, you need to purchase an order card. Remember, the capital you use to purchase an order card will be refunded according to the expiration date and time. You can use it again then to purchase another order card. For me, the highlight is that you can withdraw it at any time together with your earnings. They need a large number of order taking operators, and each order has a corresponding commission. Actually, this venture can be like a part-time job for you and an opportunity to earn at the same time. Now listen to me very carefully. Every transaction completed will bring you 0.5% of the order amount in just 2 minutes as a service fee for the order takers. Listen, stay tuned to Engineer Your Life, and I'll give you more money-making tips with MTOL.
I'm a man who keeps my promises. So I made sure that I hunted Jackie down. It's been very difficult. Jackie's a busy woman. There's been Ghana, there's
Ghana,
PE at some point. Yeah.
Midlands.
This is all about your literature. It's your books. It's all about the books.
It's all about the books, and I'm doing some projects with different universities. So I'm up and down. I'm never home.
You're really never home?
I'm really never home. I'm supposed to be home this weekend, but I'm leaving. When am I leaving? Leaving tomorrow afternoon. That's why I'm like concerned if I'm going to the invite that I got.
I've got a feeling you'll miss your own wedding.
They will have to lock me down. They will have to like literally take my phone, laptop, passport, everything. They'll have to lock me down.
And is the brother content with how busy you are?
I was fighting just like 30 minutes ago. I was fighting like 30 minutes ago. But I shame.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. Like he needs to like get a move on.
Jackie Phamotse, welcome back to Engineer Your Life.
Welcome back to Johannesburg.
The city of gold.
Yeah.
Stolen by that mama who died.
It's really. No, she was a count now.
No, she was a count. Eh?
She was a count, but
that new king, we must be onto him.
I mean, he's got big shoes to fill because they have different ideologies of running. But I don't foresee a lot of things changing. But he's quite old as well, so you're inheriting a very frail leader. So I don't know how's that gonna work.
Do you know why I'm speaking about this? I'll go back to him. In our previous episode, we spoke a lot about women giving themselves to people's men who are married, side chicks. Yeah. The new queen is a side chick, ex-side chick, Camilla.
Damn.
She was a side chick, and now she's the queen of the Commonwealth.
Yeah,
we want you. A side chick who's propelled all the way to the top.
She worked for it. she stayed there there calmly and she did her thing.
For many years.
She knew time was coming.
Yeah.
And she's inheriting it now.
She's definitely inheriting
billions.
Hey?
A legacy worth dying for.
What,
which
literally,
Princess Diana died for.
Which she did.
So
yeah.
she's gonna sit there comfortably for a couple of years unless if something drastic happens.
And I mean that whole saga between the Queen, Princess Diana, and her, it's really
coming up now.
It's coming up now. It's gonna come back, and it's also a reflection of the conversation we are continuously having about people who are married stepping out of their marriage for ulterior motives, and what it really creates, the problems it creates, the instability it creates, you know.
Especially for a kingdom such as theirs, you know, there's a lot of political influence. There's royal family, and then there's governance, and then you've got the black British people who are like, they're still oppressing us in so many ways, and she has to inherit all of those things and find ways to now become a different voice within this generation, depending on what she chooses. She could easily sit down and say, I don't want to be part of the spotlight of the castle, I'll just keep to my corner and not do anything. I'll most probably just be involved in 1 or 2 charities. But I don't think she'll step forth and take on seats where she has to be vocal about a lot of things. She has not shown that over the years anyway. I don't think it's within her own personality, but we don't know what the royal protocol would be now. But I don't foresee her becoming almost like the Michelle Obama of UK,
who writes books, has a podcast,
I don't think
TV shows,
I don't think
interviewed by Oprah, you know.
I don't think Oprah will interview her. I really don't think so. But for now, everybody's trying to keep the agenda very hush-hush. But it's so unfortunate that it has come to this, because we were waiting for some kind of change within the British colony. They have done so many bad things, and we cannot shy away from it. And it's sad that we can only speak about it when somebody dies. It's because they don't equally take accountability.
They're not interested
they're not interested. They don't want to.
But African leaders are praising them, saying they're amazing.
Oh no, Julius didn't.
Oh, not Julius. Definitely. Julius's letter was perfection.
The EFF.
This is not a political show, but that letter was.
Came out with a letter that was very concise and precise.
Facts. No beating about
it stated the correct history of the matriarch. And yes, obviously we can't speak ill of the dead, but
why?
No, because you know, people feel uncomfortable telling the truth when somebody has died. Will there be change? No, this is not a revolutionary. It's just a death.
In fact,
and the family will just continue as if nothing happened.
I saw a Business Insider documentary. It's not just a death; it's a £1 billion death. It's the next 12
months.
12 months of mourning will be billions and billions being splurged into reminding us into the PR machinery of the monarchy.
And we will be forced to contribute.
And consume the
we will
content.
Contribute. Because when presidents and kings and queens die, we all contribute. We will be forced to contribute. And our president will fly over and contribute on behalf of South Africa. And all that money will go to them. And once again, we'll still be sitting in corners howling and crying and waffling and complaining.
Yeah.
But then, in actual fact, our president will go and honor what he needs to do as a president, and most probably will have to give a donation.
Not even a donation. I want to move on from that because kuzovuka something, man. Man, we are African. It shouldn't be our business, but just return our things and we'll move on living our own life, right?
There are so many contracts that were signed
lifelong,
centuries long, that cannot be rewritten overnight.
In our previous episode, we spoke about women creating value for themselves, especially as wives, right?
Yeah.
And we spoke about, for example, you know, when you, I don't know, maybe if your husband is a corporate person, an engineer, and there's a gala dinner at work, and if you bring your wife and she's an architect, you can say, oh, this is my wife, she's an architect at so-and-so firm, or she's a lawyer at what attorneys. And you brought a perception that says it's so nice to have a partner who's educated, a partner who stands for their own, who brings that to the table. And a lot of people got touched in the studio because you said a wife who's a stay-at-home mom and she's just ironing. What is she contributing besides just building sitting there while the man builds his wealth? She's actually more susceptible to the man leaving her and finding somebody else to build a wealth.
And the abuse, yeah.
And the abuse and everything. A lot of people don't agree with that. They're saying, as a stay-at-home mom, it's a full-time job. You've got kids, you've got responsibilities in the house, you've got to make food, you keep me clothed.
Yeah.
What do you have to say about that?
It is true, it is a full-time job,
Mm-hmm.
but does it benefit you as an individual? If your husband dies, what are you going to do? Are you going to be a stay-at-home mom with no money? So the question is individualism.
Okay.
How are you going to be able to sustain yourself should that source of income leave for whatever reason, whether death or divorce, or he introduces multiple partners and the stream of income is divided within 4 or 5 people? Are you going to still be able to sustain the life that you think you desire and the life that you have? For me, it's more security than comfortability.
Okay.
Are you secure in the position that you're holding for yourself? Is it sustainable? Because I will never in my life accept somebody.
But I'm
being
secure
the
in my
only-
marriage certificate, Jackie. I've got a marriage certificate in community of property.
And then that guy moves assets without you knowing, puts it in the trust and you don't even know.
Yeah.
It's you securing your life. If, for an example, this is why a lot of people struggle when their partners die and then now they need to fight for proceeds, right? We are seeing it, right? Where you're like, oh, we thought they were married. They carried themselves as married couples. But the due diligence was not done.
Yeah.
The paperwork was not done. Yes, you're presenting yourself as a couple in front of us, so
Very
that
beautiful on Instagram.
very beautiful, but there's no paperwork.
Yeah.
Because yes, he gives you the car, but the car's not in your name. And even if it's in your name, if he leaves you, are you going to be able to sustain the
service
bond
the debt.
and service the debt?
Yeah.
If a car you're paying what, 30K?
Because it's usually a Porsche Cayenne and a Range Rover.
A Range Rover, a G-Wagon or whatever. You let's say your repayments are 35,000 rand, excluding insurance and maintenance, right? If he says, take the car and leave, will you be able to cater for that 35,000 rand a month, excluding where you're gonna live, where your kids are gonna stay, food and life in general? Do you have that surplus? You don't. You don't. So I don't want to encourage anyone for that matter, males, females, either or, because power struggles can go either way, right? It's about, do you have stability for your own life should anything happen?
Yeah.
You cannot sit and say, this man is here. This man can be called by SARS and SARS can take everything and you will be left with nothing. He could be shot by rivalries and you will be left with nothing. You know, he could lose his job. It's a very, we are living in a very unstable economy.
Yeah.
And we cannot be comfortable with one source of income, especially when you have a big family. I don't see it working. I don't see it being sustainable. And I don't see why you should be comfortable earning and living off somebody
else's
when you are more than capable of doing something.
Yeah.
We're not saying go and be a CEO, go be an accountant or whatever. I'm just saying try to find something that you're comfortable with that will equally sustain you when shit hits the fan. Yeah.
I also want to ask then, because you're saying men are generally not dependable basically, and you need to secure yourself. It's not just about comfortability, it's about security. Are men trash?
I'll never say my brother's trash. I'll never say my dad is trash. I'll never say my partner is trash. Men have issues, individually so. Women have the same. That's why we've got women who are psychopaths. We've got all of that. It's just that we're good at hiding things.
Then why are we spending so much time in this era of especially feminism? It's been branded as GBV, but I prefer calling it intimate partner violence. Why is it so documented that it's men who are perpetrators of this, when you are saying there are women, and actually a significant amount of women, who are harmful, hurting men, maybe sometimes not even physically at large, but...
Yeah, it's just a ratio thing.
So first things first, download the MTOL app. You will then have to download the Hubcoin app as well because you'll need a wallet, and bind the two apps together. Open your Hubcoin, and then you can then deposit your USDT from your Hubcoin and send it back to your MTOL, right? After depositing, you open your MTOL, you click on your USDT receiving address, you find your address, you paste it into your MTOL address section, make sure everything is on, and then now you can go to your order transaction process on your MTOL. You can take your credits in your market and your available USDT, and then you can now transact it in the market that you want to transact it in, as you see in this example. You can go back to your Hubcoin to check if the transaction has happened successfully. And then voila, you've been able to transact and make money on your MTOL. Did you see that? Just like that, you've earned income by clicking two buttons and working between the MTOL app and the Hubcoin app. There's also a recharge process. If you want to recharge and add more coins or add more USDT, as you can see, you can deposit USDT, enter the amount you want to deposit based on what is available in your wallet, and voila, deposit from your Hubcoin, submit, and you're then able to deposit more. Remember that your Hubcoin needs to have its own application, its own password, so that you're able to store everything successfully. You're able to make money continuously with MTOL.
A lot more crime is committed by men. It's a fact. It's a fact. And yes, obviously, crime against women. It's a fact. And it has been pushed within the media stream where that's all we hear. And the criminal activities that are done by women are kept very silent. They're very hush-hush. And also, the types of crimes that women commit are not as harsh and violent as the men, right? So you would get, for an example, and this is not an accurate estimate, I would say 1 out of 10 women would kill a man, but 6 out of 10 men would kill women. Do you see the ratio?
But
it's a bit high.
But actually, we've got a converse problem where it's more women, for example, killing their children.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So that's a huge issue, guys.
Yes.
And when you look at the numbers, it's very comparable to how much men are killing women. Why don't we highlight things like that? It's almost as if the world is creating an intentional barrier to fight against the man, to fight against masculinity. And the man is just the devil.
Yeah, it's because we don't see men who are comfortable speaking out against what other men are doing.
Okay.
We see women speak about it a lot, and because women when women say things, those things tend to almost escalate, right? Because it's amplified because we are prone to be believed easily, right? Regardless of the circumstances. So the voice and the echo,
that's an advantage.
That's an advantage.
Yeah.
The voice and echo around those conversations against men become amplified. And because there are no men who are saying, okay, this is what we are doing to fight GBV, or this is what we are doing to fight violence in general, then it sounds like nobody's speaking and nobody's saying anything. So therefore the bad will outweigh the good, right? So if we had organizations and people who are in positions of power who say, okay, we have done this in terms of crime when it comes to men, and this is what we also have done for women, then it becomes, they're acknowledging that there's a problem within the agenda. However, how do we also fix our own? It's easy for us to comfortably say, we can go to therapy, we have workshops, we've got Women's Day, we've got Women's Month, we've got this and that, but we don't have the same avenues for men. Hence, I asked the last time, why are we not addressing facilities that can assist men? Why are we not speaking about those places so that men know where to go? Because now it's easy for me to call a female psychologist and speak to her. But do we see, this is now in the mainstream, do we see mainstream doctors who speak on the behalf of men and say, we have facilities that can aid men in this and that? I mean, a lot of people even make fun about men's health clinic,
Yes,
the men's
yes.
health clinic,
Yeah.
as if it's a joke. It's not a joke. When we want abortion centers, that must be taken seriously,
Absolutely.
We must,
so
it
nowadays on social media, even maristopes is a
maristopsis is a big thing.
It's normalized.
It's normalized, it's
Yeah.
comfortable. We are able to say gender equality when talking about maristop because we want abortions legalized and we want all of these things. But when we speak about men's health, we almost ridicule men going to medical centers for whatever assistance they need. They become equally embarrassed to go into that center and say, hey, I need medication for STDs or what. But we can easily go to a clinic, STD medication, HIV medication, without having the stigma of being called weird names, right? Yeah. So it's just how things are communicated within the mainstream media and how we equally respond to that communication. There must be somebody who says, it's okay for men to go for counseling, it's okay for men to go for medical checkups the same way we do monthly. It's okay for men to want mental assistance. All of those things that women equally want. It's just that men don't want to loudly and boldly say they need it.
I hear you. Just staying on that topic of power dynamics, gender disparity, men versus women, the intersectionality between that. I don't remember the years correctly, but I'd say 2017, 2018, we taken through a reality show, beautiful journey. People go to Paris, they get engaged. There's a 25 years age gap, if I'm not mistaken again. The darling of the nation, Somizi is the one in question who's found the love of his life, they get married. Fast forward, we have a wedding. Fast forward, we have leaked audio of Mohale saying things about the husband who's later we're told he's an estranged husband. We're also told at the same time that there was never actually a marriage, so nobody signed anywhere. It's like this mixed match of love, commercialization, huge commercialization, because big networks were involved in the whole process, up to a point where I saw Jackie part of the commercialization, where it's Somizi and Mohale end of the road. It's a documentary now. They're closing the chapter. I guess that was the objective of the documentary. I just want to know, why did you say yes to that gig? Because I know you're a person who stands for people who are abuse victims, and things where the power dynamics are wrong. You don't like that at all.
Yeah.
Why would you say yes to a gig like that? Was it a gig, or is it something that is in line with your activism?
It's in line with my activism, because if you were able to watch what my commentary was, I wanted to show everybody that there are two sides of each story. There's the victim and the perpetrator, right?
And even the perpetrator has a side.
Everybody has a side.
Yeah.
However, we need to find a way to come almost full circle in rehabilitating both.
Yes.
Right?
There's no bin for perpetrators.
Yes.
Which is cancel culture, as you were saying in the documentary, that
Yes.
you can't stand cancel culture.
Yeah,
because we think there's a bin for humans.
No, there is no bin for humans.
Yeah.
Humans are not reject products. They're not here because they were rejected by some factory. My role was to articulate the level of crime that happens within the relationship, right, from a criminal point of view. Because earlier on we spoke about the legality of marriages, we found that in that marriage, someone said that there were no documents that were signed. They even questioning the law of customary, if it will be applicable to them. Yeah, so things like that. And then I looked at criminal records. I looked at credit records. What could be the financial gain if this thing would be commercialized as it was going forward, even after the whole fiasco? And then if there would be criminal charges, what are we looking at? And what does it really mean? Because to my knowledge at this point, I don't think Mohale has opened a case till today. So we cannot speak from a criminal point of view when there are no charges.
Criminal charges.
Yeah, we can speculate, yes, and say these are the potential charges. if what he's saying is correct and is true and can be substantiated by evidence. But hearsay doesn't stand much in court, especially when you're opening a criminal charge or a civil claim. So he's going to have a problem with that. But because a lot of things were documented on television, that proved that there was a marriage, that could be a little bit
substantial.
It could be evidence, because the court would want to see if families knew about the courtship, if there was families who were together when things were exchanged, like gifts were exchanged, traditional gifts were exchanged. Those things constitute as marriages. When you blend the family together, and it has been documented, and there are witnesses to it. So millions of people were witnesses to that special where the marriage was taking place.
I just want to re-emphasize the point of, do you still stand by the words that the power dynamics there were skewed the wrong way, and relationships with those power dynamics just don't work?
They have a higher chance of failing. It's the age gap, it's the money, it's the career opportunities that are taken away from the one who does not have or who's still building. And then obviously personality. Who are these people towards each other in terms of behavior? Who has the higher selling point, and who has the bigger crowd of support? So if you look at all of that, obviously the weakest link would obviously be Mohale.
Yeah.
He doesn't have the friends that Somizi has in terms of the power and support and the financial capabilities of his circle. So obviously his voice will be minimized for many, many things. For something as simple as going to dinner. Are we going to dinner in Durban or Cape Town? You don't have the money to say, no, we're not.
Yeah.
They're going to book your flight and you're going to go.
And you're going to jump on the
flight.
And
you're going to jump on the flight. So
especially
whether you want to or not.
To stop working, for example.
Yes.
Yeah.
So especially if some things were asked of you within the marriage that you stop so that another person is comfortable within their career, they're able to do what they want. Those things they hinder the relationship a lot. You see it in many, many relationships where if you're dating a prominent person and you have a smaller career than that person would ask of you to stay home or cater to children,
dim your
light a little bit so that I can shine, or you support me more.
Yeah.
You know, and then you've got the age gap. The age gap, obviously, you've got a person who's much more experienced, much more mature, has many more resources. You almost come into their life. And you have to play a role in their life. It's not a partnership. It's you stepping into what's already been built. And they expect a certain behavior or a certain life out of you.
Yeah.
Equally so, because at some point, you become their trophy so that they can be seen as a man who has worked and acquired. You have acquired money, you have acquired a marriage, you've acquired a home, you've got this big following, and so forth and so forth. It gives you a boost as well in terms of corporate gigs. Corporate campaigns equally sometimes want couples who can show up for certain gigs. That's why you see celebrities dating certain people so that they can get to certain campaigns, right?
Yes.
Those things are also beneficial when you have a relationship like that, where you're thinking that, okay, if I am dating a so-and-so, I can have an alcohol brand associated to our relationship. I can have a perfume brand that's associated to our relationship. You know, we can have a car brand that's associated. Yeah. So they think about brands more, and the money that comes with the brand of the relationship
overshadowing
the sincerity of the relationship. Yes.
Still on the topic of power dynamics in relationships. Point of View with Gigi Lamaine recently hosted Nicole Nyaba.
Oh.
She, in colloquial terms, is a baddie. She's a baddie. I don't know if you know of her.
Yeah.
She said to Gigi, she spent a good 30 to 45 minutes speaking about her previous relationship with the rapper. The rapper who was with the two very famous ladies, that one. And there was a whole breaking thing, remember, taking that rapper. She dated that rapper. Okay. The same rapper who also lost a partner recently.
Oh, okay.
She came and said everything you see in the news that's bad about him is correct, it's true. I wasn't treated well, so and so on and so forth. Still again, would you maintain a power dynamics issue would have been the cause there? Because maybe as a baddie, she went in for a good time, she went in for access, you know?
You know, because I don't know both of them.
Okay.
I don't know both of them. From a power dynamic, obviously, she's young.
Mm-hmm.
She probably wanted a good time. And what people don't realize is predator mentality exists in all of us.
Okay.
When you're aware of someone's weaknesses, you will prey on them because they benefit your ego.
I actually agree.
Do you understand?
Yes.
When you're dating somebody who is a little bit vulnerable
In a certain
area,
area.
in certain areas,
You exploit that a bit, even if you won't
Yes.
notice that you're doing
yes,
that.
it's there.
Mm.
Yes, then the other person will feel like they're being exploited, especially when they're not getting what they want, right? So for people who date people for popularity, it always backfires because the person who holds the talent creates opportunity. And if you don't have the talent and you come in thinking that their spotlight is yours, you'll feel the brunt of it. It's unfortunate, it's just like that.
Mm-hmm.
You will feel the brunt because at the end of the day, they have so many other people who want the same spotlight. There are so many other girls who want to date
In
the
line.
same guy.
Yeah.
So they want to say they date
The line is long.
Yeah, the line is long. And then you've got things like lifestyle. Are you dating a person for a lifestyle or for a relationship? Because that lifestyle comes with a lot of other people and many other things. So if you're not a person who enjoys consuming alcohol, when he goes out drinking alcohol, you'll feel offended.
Mm-hmm.
If you're not a person who's into drugs, if they're doing drugs, you will feel some type of way.
Mm-hmm.
And when they behave a certain way towards you, it will be regarded as GBV, right?
Mm-hmm.
But we cannot also now say, yeah, relationships are like that. We get hurt all the time. You will get hurt and you'll feel aggrieved and you feel rejected.
She could just be a woman scorned.
Yes.
Yeah.
I also am still upset at my own exes.
Yes.
Because relationships are like that. They are really like that.
Yeah.
We cannot now come say, oh, just because you're popular, you're the devil.
I
No.
hear you.
Relationships are like
And
that.
it's easy to pick on a popular person because
Yes.
there's an audience that will listen
Yes.
when you go and say they're
Exactly.
the devil. So we can't take what she's saying at face value.
No.
Yeah.
He equally has a story about her that we
True,
don't know.
that we don't know.
We don't know. And we don't know what her come up is right now. You know, we don't know why she went to the podcast. We don't know. So relationships are like that. You'll
Yeah.
never be satisfied with a breakup. I'm still upset about things that happened in 2015, guys. Like I can still say
You're
a
a mouth
mouthful.
doctor.
You know, I can still say mouthful, but you must be mature enough to accept your own role in the relationship. What was your intention? Why did you go into the relationship? If he beat you up, that's a different story. We're talking about abuse. But if he just didn't like you and he wanted to date other people and he
was
wanted to
acting weird, yeah.
we all have our moments where we act weird and our exes will say we are crazy. So it's okay. She just didn't get what she wanted out of the relationship and that's still okay. It's still okay. She must just focus on school and work right now. There's nothing else we can say.
I think about Jackie, she will say focus on school,
Yeah,
son.
go
Girl,
to school,
focus.
Leave him. He has moved on. Leave him. Leave him. If he didn't really cause physical harm, things like that where we can say you should have opened a case, then you've got your emotional baggage to take care of. Go to counseling. Because we're also still upset about our exes, so it's okay. It's okay.
In the topic of baddies, it seems like Jackie, you are so open with information. You've written many books.
Yeah.
You are free. You freely even laid out your own personal experiences and the life you've lived. But it seems like even though there's so much education out there, there are YouTube content, there are podcasts like this. People just don't want to listen.
No.
I'll read you something. I recently saw, and I think you had an opinion.
Oh my god.
It was an Instagram story. It said, "It's December. ... Ladies, if you look good but you're stressed about money for drinks, comma, don't worry, I got you. If you are beautiful and clean, you will definitely come party with me and my events and drink for free. Just DM me with your pictures. If I reply, it means you can come to my table. Winking face.
Meaning what? Come on. That's like modern prostitution. Modern human trafficking.
Ne?
It's very pedophilic behavior, where you're saying girls who look a certain way, their body types and their body features will get them a seat at the table. That's sexual.
If I reply, it means you made it. You qualify for drinks at my table.
And then women are gonna say we're objectifying them. That woman is doing exactly that.
Mm.
So how we
There's no man objectifying. It's a woman.
It's a woman who's saying that.
Yeah, who's the conduit to the objectification.
So we are so comfortable with seeing posts like that and many others where children are lured into spaces that they don't have control over and they don't know what they're going to do there. If you're saying, if I choose you and when you...
But you said drinks there, Jake.
Who's paying for the drinks? Who's paying for the drinks? Are you talking about giving kids bursaries? Are you talking about workshops that educate them, mentorship programs, leadership programs? You're telling a 19-year-old, 18-year-old, come sit at my table, wink for drinks. Come on, we are not naive. Like, there is people who work with syndicates of people who enslave children, who promise them alcohol, drinks and whatever, monies and a good time, so that they can benefit from those children's bodies. Because they're selling them off.
A few hours later, the said lady posted another Instagram story. Girls in my DM with a rolling eyes face. Let me just tool. Okay, you'll have to help me with this because I think it's a suit. It says,
okay.
Because litlo rikisele. What does that mean?
Oh, litlo rikisele. Okay. Girls in my DM, let me just tools because litlo rikisele. Hey, yeah, we'll see. She knew. She knew.
Yeah.
Also, what I think she means is that I guess she posted that other thing and then she followed it up with that comment, meaning that the girls who were DMing her are not up to par. So she's appalled that you guys are sending me these things, so she can't comment because the girl are saying it. So meaning that they were not up to her standard.
It's like she wants cream of the crop.
Yeah, she wants cream of the crop, the youngest, the freshest, the most beautiful. She probably sent pictures of those girls to her, Pimps and pimps, and the pimp said, no, get us better girls. So now she's like, oh, the girls in my DM.
So you reckon the conduit is that she gets the pictures, obviously sells the dream to the
where
girl,
does she get the money to give other girls?
and then send it to the
real people, yes.
Yeah.
And then the real people said no.
The approval process.
Yes, it's an approval process. Where would she get money to just randomly give girls drinks? Because she also needs money for hosting. So where would she get money just to throw things around? That's why I say we are so comfortable with seeing people who introduce young people to things that they shouldn't, instead of protecting them. Because now it looks like a social media post that's just a joke. It doesn't mean anything. There's a child who's really depressed and who is in need, who will see a post like that, who is desperate. They will send those pictures. The next thing, because it's happening in the DMs, and remember you can send it information in the DM and then after a day you can delete it. But after a day, that child could have been human trafficked already.
And the information is gone.
Yeah, the information is gone because she would have deleted it. And she would have said she never said it. But the transaction has been done. That's the problem. The transaction has been done. So when I saw that, I was just appalled. I'm like, how dare you? How dare you recruit children for your sex slavery shenanigans? And we must be comfortable seeing it.
And let it slide.
Let it slide. Then you're going to do it again and do it again. And then because it's easy to destroy information and you will come out and say, no, those girls are lying. I never did this. I never pimped girls out. I'm like, It started with that post that you posted.
Why are other girls pimping girls?
Because they're benefiting. They're getting money. They're getting money.
are they that desperate for money that you pimp another
No, they are
woman?
greedy for money. It's not
Yeah,
even desperation.
Because you're right, it's greed because it involves German cars and
Yes.
designer handbags.
It's not
basic.
survival
It's
anymore.
not survival.
It's not basic. It's greed. It's from one handbag to the next handbag to the next holiday to the next trip to the next man to the next thing. These big. So now we see it and we're like, oh, it's just a post. How many people DM'd and how many people went to that thing without us knowing and what happened to them? And 3, 4, 5 months later, we'll hear a story. Hey, I went to this thing that so and so invited us to, and then my friend was locked in a room. All of these things. It starts off with posts like that we undermine. Yeah, stuff like that.
I want us to chill a bit because we're getting worked up.
Yeah.
Are you writing another book?
Yes. Yes. It will be done by Feb next year.
Yo, Jackie, you turn out a book yearly at this point, or
Yeah.
more than yearly.
I'm a beast at this thing. I am very passionate about social injustices. I am very passionate about criminology. I'm very passionate about young people in my country. And I just enjoy writing. And I am purely trying to document what our generation is going through. And also find solutions that could really help. But equally so, it's something that I marvel and I get joy out of. It sustains me, it saved me, my own life. And I feel like I have found what I am made to do. There isn't anybody that I know of, I don't know if you know anybody who writes writes the way that I do or speaks about the things that I speak about.
We were speaking about with the guys behind the scenes,
Yeah.
the guys from the Illegal podcast.
Yes.
We were just speaking about your consistency in being in your own lane. You
Yes.
created a
I
lane
created
and then
my
you
own
stayed in
lane.
it.
I stayed in my own lane. I created my. I'm not even trying to compete with any other author, with any other topic. I created a lane. I honed it. I made it almost acceptable and so that other people understand it. I created a whole educational system out of the books that I write, where you see universities opening up to do research on the work that I write about to see where are they missing the gaps when it comes to social injustices, human trafficking, cults, tradition, and so forth. I'm literally creating a whole educational syllabus out of what I'm doing. And nobody ever has done it before. And it was just me turning my pain into something that I can look at and say, oh, here's my legacy. So my legacy is 9 books, I'm going on 10, and I'm doing a TV series, so.
You just triggered something by speaking about. I mean, that is incredible. It goes without saying. I praise you all the time about it. But you just triggered something to me by mentioning cults and voodoo and witchcraft. I mean, there's this new trend now, especially comes from TikTok, ne? The e-gogos, the zangomas, are now performing witchcraft live on camera and saying, Dombazan, if Dr. Hechi was a home.
Remember when they attacked me during lockdown?
Yes.
And they were like, you are lying.
2020.
Yeah, they were like, no, these things don't happen, you are lying. No, Sangomas Sangomas don't do this, they don't do that. And I'm like, oh, okay. Okay, cool. They don't? Okay, cool. Now, the very same Sangomas who are like, these things don't happen, Jackie's lying, she's sucking this stuff out of our bum. They are the ones saying, we can actually, siyakhona ukuthakatha umuntu, siyakhona ukuthwebula umuntu, siyakhona ukuthatha indoda yomuntu, siyakhona ukuthi ugcobise la, then kwenzakale this, no. And I'm like, oh, 2 years later now you wanna come out and say these things are really happening. Because now they benefit your pocket because you want these same girls and same guys to come bazo twala, bazo tatimiti for weddings and divorces and businesses and what. But when you said I was lying, I was like, okay, cool. Now do commercialize it. It's okay. Continue.
No, it's commercializing now.
Yeah, no, it's
time.
proper. It's proper. I was like, it's okay. At least I gave you some kind of voice so that you can wake up and say it because you said I was lying. But then again, my problem also then still becomes this, right? You are educating them about umuti or tatindoda. You're not telling them about the risks and how it backfires.
Explain.
Oh my God.
Like maintaining the daughter,
Yes.
or the spiritual ramifications
All of it.
getting into that
All of it.
realm or something. Yeah.
When you start tampering with the spiritual realm in a negative way, in a sense that you are taking and you are stealing somebody's life so that you can create your own life, right? At some point, umuthi uyaphela egazini, meaning that you need to redo things or double up on the things that you're doing. If you, for example, if you start off with something as simple as usebenzisa ijuba or a chicken, 6 months later, they will come back and say, hey, lo muntu lo asasebenza. Right? Uvuselela ngani ngembuzi.
Yeah.
Or 5 other chickens or 3 other chickens. And then it grows and it grows and it grows.
Then one day it's someone's child.
Exactly. Because now they're trying, some of us, and this is not all of them, the ones who are promoting themselves so blatantly, saying, Tina siyakhona umuntu emathuneni, simthi. They're not telling you the repercussions of doing that. They're not. Because when you put money in their pockets, that's why now it's so cool and comfortable for them to be in Gucci's and what, because they equally now want their lifestyle.
Yeah.
Again, which is okay. Everybody deserves a good life. It's fine. However, on the back burner of you, uhamba uya enyangeni and you tatumutu to get a marriage or a job, you have angisho uthe ufuna something from ethuneni or ufuna something in moshari or ufuna isbeletho or ufuna in, right?
Yeah.
All of those things have a repercussion. Did you ever think about it? Like, do you ever think ukuthi mayiso itholile lo nhlanhla le uyitshontshile, like you took it kamriyan, lo uyitshontshile? What happens to the many other people that are involved? Because it's not like it's a one-man job. It's not. Even your sangoma must tell you,
yeah.
Yes, you will have this over this period of time and this and that. But if you stop doing this, what will happen? Number 2, the people that have already been sacrificed for these things, what will happen to you and those people? So we forget. You're just thinking, uyazenzela ukuthi uyazikhanyisela so that things look good on you. You forget that the spirits that you have summoned need almost like a vacuum to still exist in. Once you cannot cater for those things, that's where the problem happens. And we are not communicating the dangers of. And I think this is why I initially started the conversations 2 years ago, to say, are we really speaking about the dangers of traditional medicine? We're not. We are just marketing it as if, yes, it's tradition, it's a good thing.
It's who we are.
It is who we are.
Yeah.
For sure it is who we are. Aboshaga used to live with inyanga ne ini. Even in my culture, all of those things.
Yeah.
Right? However, those who have power to do good and evil at the same time, how far are they taking it? I was watching another one of these. There was another
TikTok.
Another TikTok.
There's the one who's very happy that their deadbeat ex-husband, who's an actor, is now gone haywire. Very proud.
It's irresponsible talking. Like, you just openly, irresponsibly say things for entertainment purposes, not realizing the danger you are putting yourself under and also the people who come to you. Because I will never go to a doctor that speaks of destroying another person's life. Whether it's a dentist, a dermatologist, isangoma or whatever. I'll never.
The primary function as a doctor is healing.
Is healing and protecting the dignity of
life.
what you're doing.
Have life.
You understand?
Yeah.
So you go into somebody who says, yeah, I can destroy all of you. I can do this. Will you be comfortable with Amnigumuti? Then Mama also I destroy when. Would you be comfortable doing that? Because they are comfortable saying they can do it to anyone.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to be helped by a person with such an ego. I wouldn't. I want somebody who can do what I want, who's equally very respectful and has some kind of level of discreetness. But when you start speaking vile and you start threatening people's lives with the spiritual powers that you deem to have, it's irresponsible. It's very irresponsible. I don't know where we're getting this mentality or this vibe where we want to show people who we are. You don't have to. You don't have to show people what you can do. Amadlo's worker will do it for you. People will come back and speak on your behalf and say, 1, 2, 3.
Absolutely.
You don't have to be flamboyant and
amplify
and
at
no,
all
you don't
costs.
have to.
Yeah.
You don't have to. You already have a platform to market what tradition is, right? You don't have to slander tradition like that. If you are saying you are promoting tradition, you don't have to put it in that way. I don't see our elders ever standing on a podium and say, yeah, it's distasteful.
Yeah, it is. It is.
We're not saying you can't.
Yeah.
We're saying it's distasteful. I wouldn't be in the presence of somebody who speaks
so much
so vile.
So much so, we keep on saying it's us being one with our Africanness. That's actually very un-African. To go out and publicly speak ill and disrespectful and speak about
very
killing
inhumane.
lives and
Destroying lives. Very inhumane, very immature. It's like you're trying ukuzithusa ngomuntu wakho ukuthi mina umuntu wami usebenza ngidlula everybody else. So if we are sebenza umsebenzi, you know, we don't need to hear how boastful you are. And it goes for many. There are a lot of these upcoming merging sangwamas who are just cringy.
Yeah.
You just look at them and you're like, first and foremost, you're supposed to be a healer. You need to speak from a place of authority and deep respect. You need to comfort people where people feel safe under your authority and your guidance, right? However, just your presence alone is uncomfortable.
Yeah.
That shouldn't happen.
Because of time,
Yes.
thank you for coming again. You
You know that thing I
show.
I'm a friend of the show. Like for
friend
sure.
of the show. Just before we end, because previously I asked you about, in the previous episode, I asked you what would you like to say to the young woman who's on the come up, who's 18, 19, 20, 21. Because I know you are not a feminist and
I'm not.
I know you're not, and I get it. Because of how feminism has been
Portrayed,
eroded
yeah.
and portrayed.
There's a whole decoding of it that does not come from.
But I know you're an activist for young people. What do you have to say to the young man who's 19, 20, 21? What decisions should they be making just in 1 minute?
You still have space.
Yeah.
We have not forgotten you. You're really still very valid. You still need it. You still have space. Your feelings are equally valid. If you're in a position where you need us, I personally am that one of those people who it's okay for you to reach out, and we still need more of you. It's not like you're an outsider in our world. We all share the same spaces. We just want equal respect and safety around each other, but you're still much needed and you're still very valid in our lives.
Phamotse.
Ciao.
This is Amanzi Delio,
Oh.
a local brand.
I love.
Enjoying it. It's-
Yeah,
Ne?
I need like bottles in my house.
Absolutely. We can easily organize
Please.
that. Friend of the show of Engineer Your Life, thank you so much for tuning in. Please don't forget to like this video. Please don't forget to subscribe to the channel. We are because of you, and we must continue growing because of you. Just keep enjoying the episodes. Just keep moving back and watching previous episodes if you're new. I mean, yeah, you could be new. This could be the first time you're seeing me and enjoying our conversation and enjoying what we have to say. I'll see you next time, next week, whenever. Yeah, see you soon.